Hi everyone, I know many of you don't know me, but I'm here because I have cerebral palsy, and I view that as a gift from God. And I know that those of you who don't have it, and who are not disabled, maybe wonder how can I possibly think that? There's a lot of stuff I can't do. A lot of times it can be very frustrating, and I will tell you, there are days I get very angry, but my cerebral palsy has taught me that it's important to communicate. It's important to make a difference where you can. It's important not to focus on what you can't do, but instead on what the Lord will do with what you can't do. In other words, God allows all kinds of stuff to happen, and people wonder why that is. People think, oh, the world is terrible, and that's proof that God doesn't care. And maybe you think that. I don't know. I'm not interested in your religious views. I'm just sharing what I feel. Actually, that's not what this video is about at all. But I believe it's a gift, and I intend to use that to make the world a little better wherever I can. And I have the joy of being engaged to a woman who feels the same way. She volunteers. She is a huge asset to the community in which she lives, and she really reaches out and cares for people. But we have a problem. We both receive SSI. And when you're on SSI and you want to get married, what Social Security does is add up the two incomes and then reduce the benefit that you get by 75% of the total. Okay? Now, this makes it very difficult, and a lot of couples have to marry in secret, and they can't get legally married. But my issue with that is that the Social Security Administration asks questions of two people of the opposite sex living together. And if they believe that you are cohabitating, they can deem you married whether or not you are legally married, and your benefits will be affected in the same way. Now, I am determined to legally marry my fiancée. I believe this is what the Lord wants, and I really, really am committed to that because I teach Sunday school, and I don't want to have to keep my wife a secret from everyone. I don't want to have people sign non-disclosure agreements at the wedding and say, okay, there's a wedding, and you all enjoy it, but say nothing about what you see here, because we could get in trouble. I don't want to have to go through life wondering if we can tell this person that she's my wife, or that she will be my wife, or whatever. I don't, that's a terrible thing. Because it would mean that whenever we were asked, we'd have to say, no, we don't live together, and no, we're not married. No, I'm sorry, officer, look the other way, we can't do that. And even if we tried to do that, if they find out, we would owe all kinds of money. And unfortunately, that happened to me once. Not because I was married, but because I was working, earning $45 a week, and I didn't report this because my thought was, it's not a living wage, and I don't get paid all the time. So I didn't report this, and Social Security found out at the end of the year because the company I was working for had to pay taxes, and so they had to report this. And even though I only made $45 a week, which is not a living wage, I ended up owing the Social Security Administration $600, and they garnished my check over a period of time to pay it off. And so if we were to pretend that in our hearts we were not married, they would eventually find out that the entire community believes we will be, and at that time that we are, or whatever, if you see what I mean. And they will garnish our check, and we will owe a lot more than $600. So please write to Congress and tell them that this marriage penalty is wrong. If you want to spread the word, go on Facebook and search for End Marriage Penalty. And share the link with your friends. Get them to sign up. Do a Google search. Look for articles. There's all kinds of good articles on this. Get educated. Get angry. Write Congress. It's our government. They're uneducated. And the only way it's going to change is if we stand up and say no. God moved mountains so my fiance and I could get married and build a life together, and we want to honor the Lord and the work He has done. So please help us do that. Whatever your viewpoints are on equality for other things, that's a completely different subject, and that's not a debate I want to have here. But, this is a big problem, so please help. Spread the word, share this video. If you are a lawmaker, look it up. This is a law from the 50s when people with disabilities were put in institutions. It is designed to discourage us from getting married, forming lasting relationships, and basically being happy, which violates the preamble of the Constitution, even though the Supreme Court has upheld that the Social Security regulations are perfectly legal, and basically they decided that Social Security is voluntary. So they're uneducated as well. Because for people like us, we can be even poorer than we already are. We need Social Security to be able to go up in the community and pay rent and all the other bills that you get just from living, okay? None of us is living high on the hog, and we don't have gold-plated taps. So don't tell me it's voluntary, but that's a bit of a tangent, okay? We have to educate people. This is wrong, and please pray about it. Get letters to Congress. Get letters to your state representatives. Because many states are doing something at that level, and it does make a difference. In Montana, they have had some success. And eventually, if they have success, then the country will follow. Okay? So God bless each and every one of you. And thank you for your time.